you got to Alec Baldwin. So I'm going to play this for everybody if you haven't seen it. And there's a lot of controversy over it. I think this is hysterical, and this is what Jason does. So,
Alec, it's your favorite president. Look, Alec, I will offer you a total pardon because I want to be friends, right? I want to be friends. I will give you a total pardon for murdering that woman if you kiss the ring. Kiss the ring, Alec. Kiss the big, beautiful ring. Come on, Alec. Come on. Look at Alec Baldwin, right? He did that impersonation of me. It was not too hot, not too good. But look, we're back in office. You lost. Kamala lost. She's somewhere getting intoxicated. Look at that suitcase. Unbelievable. Well, Alec, if you don't want pardon for murdering that woman in cold blood, you can call it first degree. You can call it whatever you want, but it was not good. She's looking down on me right now, smiling, happy. Thank you for confronting the man who took me out, who killed me. And that's okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
No, you realize, by the way. No, look at me. I want you to look in the eye.
Sure.
You got a camera on me?
The ring. No, it's the ring.
But you realize my kids live in this building, right? But I want you to know something.
We love the children. We're doing great deals for the children.
Be real careful.
Okay.
If this camera was here, I'd snap your fucking neck in half and break your fucking neck right out. So you know that, don't you?
Okay. All right, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin, ladies and gentlemen, class act. Believe me. Believe me. Okay. Oh, he's yelling at me. I'm a citizen of this. I was born and raised in New York City. I love you, Alec. Alec, look, Alec, you don't want to attack your favorite president, Alec. Look, I love you. I love you, Alec. He's got more balls than De Niro, that I can tell you. De Niro ran away. Alec confronted. That's good. He's strong, but also he's weak because he murdered a woman. So that's okay, right? Look at this guy.
I personally couldn't stop laughing the whole way. Now, I know there's a little bit of like dark comedy in that you mentioned there was somebody that was a victim or, that got killed. Yeah. But Alec Baldwin, listen, he's done this before. So what he did to you, he's gotten into other people's faces and said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. He's hot-headed.
Yeah.
So can you give me a little bit of what was the plan? How did you even come to find out this guy had the car there? How did this all come about?
So basically, after I got De Niro, I said, okay, who's next? And then boom, Baldwin popped into my head for obvious reasons. The impression for 4 years on SNL, everything. So I Googled and I was able, it came right up exactly his address. And I had a friend of mine who is a paparazzi guy on TMZ, and he confirmed it, the address. The crazy thing is, I waited outside his building for about 3 hours in the cold. I was almost about to leave because I was starting to lose feeling in my toes. But the crazy thing is, when I first got there, I saw a man who I thought was Alec Baldwin. I saw his profile and I said, oh shoot, that's him. And he got into a BMW SUV. It had tinted windows and he drove off. That's what kept me there for 3 hours. I said, he's going to come back and park his car here. When the real Baldwin showed up, he wasn't in that car. So what's funny is, if I hadn't mistakenly thought I saw him when I arrived, I never would have waited there for 3 hours. I mean, I might have, but I would have said, oh, morning will probably be better lighting, even though that lighting was actually perfect. The street lamp was boom. Yeah. And the whole time I kept going back and forth. I'm like, should I keep it playful? Like, your impression stinks. Should I just keep it about the impression? Or do I go, the full Monty? And then this thought hit me, and it was, he was really nasty about Trump the whole time he did it wasn't even an impression. It was like an attack, So when people say, oh, this isn't comedy, it's mean-spirited, it's nasty. Well, I'm like, I'm giving him a taste of his own medicine because that's exactly what he did for 4 years straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a bully. I'm not a bully. My comedy isn't bullying. But in this case, I felt like I was just making the scale even. And then famously now, because I did the interview with TMZ and then everybody else picked it up, I told you I run off. After I get a celebrity, especially him, I'm like, is he going to pull out a gun? So we run around the block. Me and my cameraman, we're like, oh my God. we're both like speechless. He threatened to kill me. I'm like, oh my God, we got the best video of all time. And then I hear this woman right behind my head screaming, yes! I turn around and I'm like, holy shit, that's his wife, the woman who pretended to be Hispanic. White girl, rich white girl from Massachusetts, went to prep schools. She was like, how you say cucumber on the Today Show, cutting up cucumbers. And she's screaming. I couldn't even tell you what she said. It was just like a chihuahua. And then she reaches out and tries to grab my phone. And I run off. And people are like, one guy is like, why would you run from a woman? And I'm like, well, first off, genius. I said, you must not be that smart. Because first off, she was going to grab my phone. And then she was going to like erase the video. And if I tried to grab it back from her, she would say, oh my God, he assaulted me. You know what I'm saying? I know that if she made contact with me, if she had just touched my wrist or anything, even if I pulled back, she would yell, assault. I know how these people are. These are lunatics. These people are not mentally well, and that's not me bashing them. That's me feeling bad for them. I feel bad for Alec Baldwin and his crazy wife. Like, think about how crazy you have to be to hate yourself so much that you have to pretend to be from a whole nother like culture and then to put a ring on that woman's finger. It's just crazy. So I run around the block. I turn around. She's in high heels running after me. And I'm like, oh my God. I realized even in the moment how funny it was. So I took my phone out and I posted an Instagram story. I'm like, Alec Baldwin's wife is chasing me down the street. It's just hysterical.
Oh my God.
Nobody else. I don't want to, I'm not an ego. I try not to be an ego person, but I have to pat myself on the back. I say nobody else would find themselves in that situation.
So Alec Baldwin went inside and then his wife came out. So he must have told her this guy did XYZ to me, right? I mean, that's what I'm assuming is he wasn't there. She was there. She came out of nowhere.
What's interesting is, in my mind, I thought maybe she was in the car, but then I realized, no, with that personality, she wouldn't she's not the type to sit on her hands. No, she would have gotten out of the car right away. So you're the second interviewer to bring that up. Before, the other one was from Fox News, and she said, no, she must have been in the building. And I'm like, holy crap, you're right. He had to have summoned her. And on one level, I was like, just purely from a man's perspective, I'm like, okay, that is kind of hot. The wife running out, like the wife standing up for you and chasing me down. I was like, okay, for Alec Baldwin, that's kind of, I could see how that would be sexy. But
it can't be that because look, I understand how this works. There's no way that she's running after you. Alec Baldwin's not there, and she wasn't on the scene at all. So that's telling me he had to have gone in and mentioned this to her, or she was watching the whole thing from somewhere.
Through a window. That's another theory I have. Because I don't know it's a big building. And I don't know what side of the building they're on, but it's either she was watching out of the window, like he texted her, hey, I'm pulling up. And then she's like, what's taking him so long? Uh-oh, and ran down, or he texted her, or he called her, or we don't know.
That's what I was thinking, because I said there's no way this woman ran after you, yet she wasn't on the scene and she wasn't in the truck. So then how does she know who you are and where you went? Because only Alec saw you leave so Alec clearly told his wife, oh, he made fun of me. And then she came to try to take the phone, snatch it out of your hands, which would have been illegal. It's actually a crime. As you know, they've arrested people for stuff like that. But in Eric Adams, New York City, Alec Baldwin might be contributing to his campaign or has, so 100%. You would let him off for that. But I'm just saying, you played it smart and just ran away and then
ran away.
Let her get away from the phone, get away from the whole area. But you did mention TMZ, so I wanted to play this to show. This is what Jason went viral after this TMZ interview. And, it's like I saw article after article after article mention you about this. There's like Trump impersonator, Alec Baldwin. I saw it on the cover of one of the papers, one of the media, so on a website somewhere. So I wanted to show everybody this interview you did, that this is what got everybody's what can
Panties
I say?
in a bunch.
Panties in a bunch. That's the best way to describe it. This is the TMZ interview.
The whole snap your neck thing.
Yeah. And then there's a part nobody saw because the camera was off. His wife chased me around the block after.
No, you are kidding me.
Oh, I'm not kidding you. Me and my cameraman were like, holy crap, I can't believe we got this. And then I hear this, what are you doing? Da, 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 da. Behind me, she pretended to be Spanish. So she's like, oh my God, what are you doing? And I turn around and I immediately recognize her. I'm like, that's the cucumber lady. That's the lady who pretended she couldn't pronounce cucumber, pretended to be Hispanic. Meanwhile, she grew up in Boston. Rich white girl. How you say cucumber? And she actually, this is a scoop for you guys. My name's Scoop. This is a scoop. She lunged for my phone. Miss Hilaria, she's like, come here. And I was like, what? And you know what? I yelled at my cameraman, like, you're a beautiful camera woman. I said, get this. And, I was a little disappointed with him. He missed that opportunity. That was a goal. That might have been bigger than me and Alec. But his wife, his 43-pound wife, was chasing me down the street in high heels trying to grab my phone. Beforehand, I was thinking, do I treat him with the kid gloves or do I go scorched earth? And I was really debating. But then I remembered, how he mocked mercilessly my man DJ T for 4 years straight on SNL. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go scorched earth. The people want to see scorched earth.
I'm cracking up. So, what about the comment of, Helena Hutchins is looking down and smiling and saying, you're a murderer. Like,
I got to say this. When I'm in character, Jason is gone.
Right.
I'm Trump in that moment. And, I got 3 seconds. You know this. You chase people down. That's your job. I was basically doing what you do, but with a comedic flair.
Okay.
And, when I'm in character, when I'm improvising, I can't be held accountable for what comes out of my mouth.
So, did you get nervous or feel?
Yeah, at one point I definitely thought he was going to physically hit me. 100%. Right. Yeah, I did. I don't want to admit this, but yes, I did get a little nervous. I will admit. I'm a human being. He's a scary man.
Now, what did you think of him saying, I'm going to kill you?
Well, in that moment, I'm like, I got gold, baby. But that was one half of my brain.
Moment that you wanted.
Yeah, that was one half of my brain. And then the other half of my brain was, is he really going to kill me?
I did want to say one thing. I want to ask you this because I heard, I got friends, we have friends in the media, both of us. One of them in particular had somebody on, like, ask them questions over your incident. And they said they found it a little distasteful that you mentioned a woman that was murdered, and you're saying, like, you know what you said. What do you say to the detractors that say something like that? Because you were mentioning you were in character, but again, you use that. That's the one thing I keep hearing.
Yeah. Well, what I will say is, I definitely crossed the line. I admit I crossed the line for sure. I was being crazy. But that's the world we live in. You know what I mean? The people do crazy things for views and clicks, and that's what it is. I fully admit, guilty as charged. I'm not gonna be like, no, I was being a good choir boy. No. I was, like I said, I used the term scorched earth. I went crazy. But R.I.P. to Helena Hutchins.
You just watched the clip from the Sal Greco show. If you want to watch the full episode, click the link below. And while you're at it, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. And don't forget to click the notification button also.